Hey there, Bible students. Welcome back to another deep dive into the scriptures. Today, we're diving deep into the righteousness of Abraham, focusing on Genesis 12. This chapter is pivotal in understanding the foundation of Abraham's faith and his relationship with God. So, Genesis 12 kicks off with the call of Abram. This moment marks the beginning of a significant journey, both physically and spiritually, for Abram. But here's the burning question: why would God call Abram, especially since he was living in Ur and then moved to Haran when the call came? What made Abram so special in God's eyes? We actually know very little about Abram's early life. The Bible doesn't provide extensive details about his upbringing or his early experiences. One thing for sure is that he got married before he was 70. This was a significant milestone in his life, marking the beginning of his own family. Then, fast forward, he moves with his father to Haran and starts a life there. This move was a major transition, setting the stage for God's call. At age 75, God uproots him again and sends him to Canaan. Imagine the faith and trust required to leave everything familiar behind and follow God's command. But where would Abram get his knowledge of God and his commands? How did he come to understand and trust in God's voice? Let's take a look at the genealogy of Shem. This lineage is crucial in understanding the transmission of faith and knowledge. Shem lived 500 years after the flood. His long life allowed him to pass down vital teachings and experiences. And from the flood to Abram's birth, there were roughly 294 years. This period was filled with stories and lessons from the past. This means that Abram had about 75 years to absorb everything Shem taught. He had ample time to learn about God's ways and expectations. Think about it: creation, God's commands, what God expected. It was all passed down. These teachings were a vital part of Abram's upbringing. Even if Abram didn't meet Shem personally, his ancestors from Arpachshad down to Terah were still alive. They were the carriers of this sacred knowledge. These ancestors would have been taught by Shem, Noah, and their wives. The wisdom and experiences of these patriarchs were invaluable. Now, Noah lived 350 years after the flood, meaning he was around when Abram was born and for the first 60 years of Abram's life. This overlap is significant. Imagine the influence Noah and his family had. They were direct witnesses to God's power and mercy. They were living witnesses of God's works and his expectations for righteousness. Their testimonies would have been powerful and compelling. So why did people stray, even with so many eyewitness accounts of the flood and pre-flood world? This is a question that has puzzled many. Just like the pre-flood world, people had free choice to believe or not. Free will played a crucial role in their decisions. This freedom to choose explains why people left their original homeland and settled in Shinar. They sought independence and new beginnings. They might have wanted to escape Noah and Shem's influence and live their own lives. This desire for autonomy led to significant consequences. Their early rebellion led them to Babel and eventually to division. The story of Babel is a testament to the consequences of straying from God's path. Abraham was righteous because he chose to follow God amidst a world of free choice and rebellion. His faith set him apart. His knowledge and faith came from a lineage deeply rooted in God's teachings, handed down from generation to generation. This heritage was his foundation. And that, my friends, is a deep dive into the righteousness of Abraham in Genesis 12. His story is a powerful example of faith and obedience. Thanks for joining me, and keep studying. Remember, the journey of faith is ongoing and ever rewarding.